Audi Q6 e-Tron Sportback 2025 review. Slippery and sensible. Not for the first time in recent memory. Audi's naming conventions have become quite confusing. After spending a good while making its combustion engine cars end in an odd number and its electric cars even. That plan has been firmly flushed down the toilet. At least the Audi Q6 e-Tron Sportback is nice and simple. It's a Q6 SUV with a coupe-inspired roofline and a higher list price. If you want to convince yourself this is somehow a sensible choice. The Sportback's better aerodynamics do mean you'll go a bit farther on a charge than the squarer-backed SUV. The Sportback's model range is no different, with 2 rear-wheel drive and 2 four-wheel drive options, and a selection of trims. Rivals include the Porsche Macan Electric and Genesis GV60. With the BMW X3 and Mercedes EQE SUV less rakish alternatives. Audi flew me out to Germany so I could drive a rear-wheel drive Performance and 4-wheel drive Quattro. If you'd like to know more about how we test, there's a page dedicated to letting you know. At a glance, pros: quiet, comfortable, good to drive, goes farther than the Q6 SUV. Fast charging. Cons: inefficient in the real world. Not enough buttons and switches inside. A Macan is faster and more fun. What's new? Just the roof. Really? The full range of motors and batteries from the SUV is available. And the trim levels are the same, too. Like the Macan Electric and A6 e-Tron. It sits on VW Group's premium platform Electric. The roof changes start at the A-pillar, and knock 37mm out of the Q6 height whilst replacing a squared-off rear with a sweeping fastback. Aerodynamics are improved, which boosts range by a modest 10 miles or so. What are the specs? There are 4 power levels available. 2 rear-wheel drive and 2 four-wheel drive. The entry point is the regular rear-drive e-Tron with 288 bhp and a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 7.0 seconds with. Like every other figure I'm about to reel off. Launch mode engage. Performance increases the battery size and boosts power to 321 bhp for a 6.6 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time. Quattro is the cheapest way into 4-wheel drive and ramps power up significantly to 383 bhp thanks to a motor for the front tires. 0 to 62 miles per hour drops to 5.9 seconds, which is still significantly slower than the 510 bhp Q6. This drops 0 to 62 miles per hour to 4.3 seconds, which is quick. But not Macan Turbo Electric quick. Range and charging. Entry-level models get a 75.8 kWh battery. It'll do up to 334 miles on a charge officially. And takes just 21 minutes to get from 10 to 80% on a 225 kilowatts rapid charger. Next rung Performance gains a 94.9 kWh battery to boost the driving range to 406 miles. The maximum charging rate increases to 260 kilowatts, so the 10 to 80% rapid charge time only goes up by a minute. Quattro and SQ6 models get the same battery as Performance, but the added motor reduced range. Quattro does up to 392 miles on a charge. SQ 6,369 miles. Charging times remain the same as Performance. How does it drive? Just like a Q6 e-Tron SUV. And I suspect you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference even if you drove them back to back. The ride is soft on the air suspension system that's unavailable in the UK unless you opt for the SQ6. With a gentle waft in comfort mode and tighter body control in sport. In no mode does it feel harsh or unyielding. It doesn't disgrace itself in the bends, either. Sport mode brings a useful agility boost, while the keen, well-weighted and quietly talkative steering makes it easy and satisfying to place. Even 4-wheel drive models feel pleasingly rear-biased. Although we wish the throttle response was a bit sharper. Performance is good, but by no means best in class. Refinement really is exceptional. Wind, road and motor noise are impressively subdued, with a smooth power delivery and easily modulated brakes making for relaxed progress. What about the interior? Yes, you guessed it, this is also much the same as the Q6 SUV. Let's cut to the chase. Rear headroom is reduced, but not enough that it'll cause a large percentage of the adult population a problem. If you're 6 foot or a little over, you'll be fine. Rear legroom is good but not generous, and the boot is down to 511 liters. Up front you'll find up to 3 screens and a head-up display. The standard 11.9-inch driver's display and 14.5-inch central touchscreen are housed in a curved display that is very driver-centric. This means the optional 10.9-inch passenger display is quite handy if you're playing co-driver. Overall, it's a bit of a digital and touch-sensitive panel overload that's just not as clear or user-friendly as some of Audi's older interiors, despite the crisp displays and responsive software. Some heater controls and physical buttons returning to steering wheel would both be welcome. Before you buy, Sport trim is the entry point and gets 19-inch wheels. Auto main beam, adaptive cruise control, fancy LED lights front and rear, leather seats and 3-zone climate control amongst loads of other luxuries. S-Line gives you sportier bumpers front and rear, 20-inch wheels, privacy glass, a heated, squared-off steering wheel, sportier seats and stainless steel pedals. The top, regular Q6 Sportback in the Edition 1, which gains sport suspension. 21-inch wheels, red brake calipers and a passenger display. Q6 doesn't get all of Edition 1's luxuries, but you do have 21-inch wheels and red calipers plus air suspension. Nappa leather sports seats, heated front and rear seats, and a Bang & Olufsen stereo. Verdict: yes, the extra range the Q6 gains is handy, but you're still really paying more for how this car looks, assuming none of your regular passengers are professional basketball players, and you're not one for folding the rear seats down and packing to the roof. This is still a perfectly sensible family EV. It isn't the sharpest driving SUV in the class, that's the Macan Electric, but the Porsche's DNA can be felt in the steering and chassis, making the Audi a satisfying thing. If only it was a bit more efficient and more user-friendly inside.